So we have made it to episode 20 of the Motogp career, and I must say I am enjoying it even though it has been a struggle. But as you can see by our team row, Honda are still not showing us any love, even though in the championship we are P6. Now moving forward after this episode, I want to have my future decided. So I want you guys to pick a team or manufacturer you want to see me ride in season 2. Now, of course, we've already tried to sign for the Repsol Honda team, but my doubts have creeped in as they've not shown me love at all. So, with that small bit of housekeeping out of the way, it is time to go to Japan for Motogp. So, we are back to normality after the highs of Indonesia. We are miles off the pace, 2 seconds off, all lost once again on corner exit. So, it's going to be a tough weekend, but the fact we're ahead of 200s already, and somehow Zeki on the GP23, a bit worrying for Marco. But yeah, there's not much we can do. Let's get into qualifying and see if we can somehow pull a rabbit out of a hat. So, best of the session for us was a 45, almost into a 44, which is pretty good. We've made it progress over Friday and into Saturday. 40, nowhere near strong enough to go into Q2. We are faster than the factory Hondas, but we're slower than our 2 LCR teammates. So, work to do on Saturday for the sprint, and then that'll be a good learning process for the main race on Sunday. So, sauce off for the sprint. It's just going to be one of those ones we're going to have to attack early and see if we can kind of get away with the group. We're going to lose all of our time out of the corner. We're going to gain it all back on corner entry. It's going to be one of those races. Let's get into it. Let's get it. Shocking, as always. A lot of people getting balked out in the grass already. Inside one. Oh, we got a big stoppy there. Somehow survived. That's another track limit. It's 2 already. We've only done 2 corners. Oh, small bit of contact Marines. We were very much over the limit there. Be surprised if we get a little talking to for that. So as you see the race will go on, you'll see one big glaring issue. So we lose it all on corner exit. But the big issue for me, right, is we're wheeling so far down the straights that when we get to the braking zone, I'm still wheeling, grab a handful, and I lock the front, and I have a massive moment. The shorter straights are really bad for it. You will notice it later in the race. And the next time you see it, you'll just see me doing it. So every time we just get off the road, the front just nosedives and locks the front tire. Very sketchy. This part of the track here, the flowing S sector, turns 7 and 8. It's where I'm really strong. Just pulled them back in a couple of bike lengths. Mainly, just don't have much overall the whole lap. I'm kind of keeping my own ground here at the moment. Should see here in a second what I was meaning about the front wheel coming down and locking. No, of course, right on cue, it doesn't happen that time. But I will include it at some point in the video when it does happen. Because most laps through there it's happening. You can see how much of a torrid time out of the corner we are having to try and get the power down. So I've just seen we did a 44.3 on the last lap. That is 0.7 quicker than we went in qualifying. How crazy is that? That the exact same setup in a race condition, and we've gone a hell of a lot quicker. So I'm not really sure where that lap time came from, to be brutally honest, but we're under again. So maybe again it just shows that Honda isn't amazing over one lap, but it is a fairly decent race bike if we can get it in the window. Another fast lap. 44.0, so that's the second quicker than we've gone in qualifying. And I think it's just for me relaxing in the race because I don't try as hard to get the lap in. I'm just trying to focus on being smooth, precise. You can see what I've done two Aprilias behind. But I just don't have anything to get onto the back of Quartararo. As that just up the road there is points. Oh, another bike down. It is an Aprilia, I believe that's Maverick. It is Maverick Viñales. Is out. Oh, big moment on the front end. Thankfully, we have a bit of time back to P13 and 14, but it's going to be probably at best P12 here unless anyone tips off ahead of me in the last lap. I was really surprised overall the pace I've had in this race because I don't really know where it's coming from. I don't feel like I'm doing anything different. I feel like I'm just braking quite tentatively in places because the bike just doesn't feel amazing in heavy braking still. See this lap now, we've completely just backed it off. Fabio has absolutely pulled away from us, but I just want to bring home a decent position. Obviously no points unfortunately for P12. We got 3 points, or 3 positions behind the points, but it's probably the best really we could have got from the race. Qualified so poorly and to finish top 12. Pretty important race for my Sunday race because now I can have an idea of if maybe we can get a start, get away, we could maybe just squeeze. As you see there, it does the front end moment, so finally get to show off what I meant in that corner. It's wheeling. I go for the brakes, grab the hand for the brakes, the wheel is in the front gear, and when the bike weight transfers onto the front end, it has a massive moment. So thankfully, as the weight of the fuel has gone down now, the bike is starting to move around. Quite glad that we are at the end of the sprint, as it's been a really difficult one to maintain the speed, but I'm going to get a well-earned P12 from nowhere on the grid. And yeah, that's a good job done for me here on the Saturday.
As the riders do their cool-down laps, let's take a look at the final classification of the race we've just seen.
So Jorge Martin probably has almost wrapped up the title at this stage. We're down in P12, 12 and a half seconds off. Now, only 0.7 off in fastest lap though, off of Jorge Martin, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9 off of Pecco. So that's pretty good at a racetrack like this that we're less than a second off in race trim. That's kind of good for me, but still obviously nothing too strong today. But if we can get a P12 in the sprint, I'm really going to push on for the main race. Probably risk a bit more in the opening laps. Might go one of 2 ways. I'll probably do either DNF or maybe grab a few points if we're lucky. So let's get into the main race now. So we're going to run soft again. We had a good pace with it in the sprint race. We can't really run anything else. It's pretty much the go-to for us is soft, and we're going to just run it and hope for the best. Let's see if we can sneak a few points. Of course, if we finish in the same position that we did in sprint, we will get a handful of points, which is the goal. Okay, then let's go. Let's get a good start. We are at the back. We need some good launch for once. Fortunately, doesn't look like it. Oh, Marini not giving me any space. Oh, that's actually Mir, not even Marini. Oh, it's a crash. Oh, we've been hit by a few bikes. We've already lost the kind of connection to the group. Let's hope we don't get a penalty for that because we were not involved in that crash at all. Me and Mir under investigation as well. Not really too sure what that's for. Fabio Quartararo has a long lap. Oh, look at all how tight it is in here. We are almost in the points, but that man in front of us, right on cue, has another warning for me maybe incoming. But I need to clear him early. The inside we're going to go. We're going to have this real aggressive move early. Got a warning. So how many warnings we have already to start this race, but we have a few. But we are in the points. This is the goal. We just need to stay here. Oh, Pecco Bagnaia is out. He's tipped off at the 90-degree corner. Not for the first time this year or in real life. Has Pecco fallen out of good positions with very little pressure on him, I'd imagine. The championship now is gone for the number 1. We're going to see our first ever satellite world champion in Jorge Martin. I don't think Bastianini's close enough to stick with him. Can't wait to see how fast Pecco comes back at me and overtakes me. We go for the same move on 2 Fabios in 2 laps. We do go up the inside of DG. Only have the inside for this difficult next left. He was there, but he doesn't show me a wheel. He's going to be all over me into this tight hairpin corner. Oh, we've left the move, actually gone very deep ourselves, all the way to the edge of the track. I would say we get the run on him. You can see we get a small run. And look how fast that Ducati is compared to me. Oh, up on the edge of the curb. I'm going to just release the brake around the outside. Oh, there's contact. We lost the front. Here comes Pecco. Pecco's not that close, actually. I thought he'd be closer. Surprisingly enough, we've done a lap here with Pecco behind us, and he actually isn't catching us that much at all, really. I thought he'd be absolutely all over me. Really strange after him tipping off in here. Maybe he has damage. But whatever it is in it, he is pretty slow at the moment. Oh, Digi, you're right in front of me. And he is out. So it's one of those racetracks. It's putting pressure on the front end of motorbikes. And look at me there once again. Very wide. So unfortunately, with it coming together with Digi a minute ago, that kind of broke the gap to the group. And then with him tipping off as well, it just means we have a bit of margin back to the Zeki, really, which means we're probably going to be at best stuck in this position for the rest of this race, with a ever getting quick Pecco Bagnai behind. So we have him pretty much caught by Bagnai. He's now only a tenth behind. If there's one place was strong, it is a heavy braking, so it's going to be difficult for him to overtake me, I believe. I'll try my best to make it difficult anyway. Oh, Mark is out of P2. And now the Ducati losing the front end. There he is, and he is out. That puts us up into P11. And Rins now has passed Pecco, so Pecco must have some serious problems, I'd imagine. As we see the championship standings there on the right, Jorge Martin 88 points over his nearest rival in Bashnini, so pretty much championship over really after this round, with Jorge Martin leading and Inea Bashnini in only P3. So another low 44 this race as well for me, so it shows again, if we maybe could have done that in qualifying, maybe could have been slightly higher up the grid, got away with some of the front guys, you could have had a much better race. Really, the story of the season is just how slow the spike's been over one lap for me, and how that we usually come back in the main race and have a much better race with our ability to be able to use the soft tyres for both main and sprint race. Alex wins 9 of 12 laps. Alex is right on my back wheel now. Here he comes. Supreme brake performance. Let's see if we can go with him, because I know Pecco and Brad are just there. Oh, it's Jack, not even Brad. Every heavy braking zone Rins goes into, he goes straight on, but look at that Ducati. I'll have to pinch a bit on the brakes. Oh, we're in deep, I'd say. Me and Rins both deep. Ultimate lap time almost. Oh, he looks like he's struggling now, Rins. That front tyre's had enough. Here comes Pecco. I'm going to tip in. All for the best. I think we need to get Rins between us again. Let's go Brave, but he's very good Rins on the brakes down here, but so is Pecco, I'd imagine. I'm going to tip in, so he's going to get the underline. Oh, Pecco's right there. We'll try a little switch move. Massive contact from Pecco. He just pushed me out of the way. Now comes Jack as well. Just running out a bit of tyre here towards the end. Fortunately, my satellite Honda is nothing against these 3 factory bikes. We've been pushed out of the way now by Jack as well. We did so well for so long to hang on to P11, but looks like here in Motogp it's going to be P14. Unless something happens on this final lap that we're starting now. We try a little move on Jack in here. I'll go for it. Rear grip though is gone, and he fights back. Nice move from Jack. Again, his rear grip doesn't look great either. Just enough into this heavy braking zone. just can't keep with them enough to be able to do anything on the brakes. Oh, Pecco's wide. Jack has a look. Oh, we've gone around the outside. We keep the inside. Don't think it'll matter. I think his KTM will beat me to the line anyway. Yes, it will. It's going to be a very hard fought P14 in the end, but that was a difficult race.
Let's take a look at the final classification of the MotoGP race before the traditional podium ceremony.
So Martin all but wraps up his championship for this year. We end up down in P14. It was a tough race. We tried everything to keep P11, but we just didn't have enough. Just ran out of tyre, just ran out of straight line braking performance, and I couldn't defend him. I couldn't back him up anymore. And Pecco especially got very aggressive and cost me a position to Jack, because I think maybe I could have defended Jack for a few more laps if I was given the opportunity. But again, not into Q2 at all. I managed to get points in the top 12 finish in the sprint. So overall, a decent weekend. In the championship, we say 6th position. We're 2 points only ahead of Frankie Morbidelli and only 6 points ahead of Aleix Espargaro. So down to the end of the season, it's going to be a battle between 6th, 7th and 8th for a top 6 finish in the championship. Again, another couple of points, but nothing major from Motogp. But again, it's good just to be in the points. So would you look at that? We finally get rewards. So we're finally having increased interest from Honda. It's only taken them all season. So maybe they are finally realizing my worth after scoring points at their home race on their own bike. So we'll see if there's an offer on the table anytime soon. But I'm still slightly pissed off it's taking them this long. So it is 4 races left in this championship season. I cannot wait to finish up with this Castrol Honda and get off it and hopefully get on something a lot quicker and more competitive. But that is where we will leave today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. If you did, drop a like down below. Subscribe to see more. I should catch you in a future episode of more MotoGP 24 career mode. Thanks for watching. Slán go fóill.